Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to an Easter weekend reviewing the Premier League and Championship games from this weekend. Let's get straight into it with the Premier League and Manchester United defeating Everton on Saturday. And yeah, good win for the Red Devils here. Took a bit of time before the breakthrough eventually came, but it did come through. Scott McTominay in the 36th minute and Martial in the 71st minute, finishing things off. And yeah, United dominant here, fully deserving the victory. And you know, as they look to cement the Champions League space, which I think they will do. But yeah, Everton still right above the bubble. Moving on into Wolves, and they defeated Chelsea 1-0 in Frank Lampard's first game back in charge of the Blues. Hugely disappointing. Nunez with the goal in the 31st minute. And yeah, Wolves, I don't know, Chelsea huffed and puffed, but I would say, was it really an improvement from what we've seen in the Potter era? Personally, I'm not really so sure it was. But yeah, great result for Wolves. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. But for Frank Lampard, shows a lot of work he's got to do. But moving on then to Tottenham 2, Brighton 1 at White Hart Lane. Son gave Tottenham lead in the 10th minute before Brighton were victim of a whole host of bad decisions. Lewis Dunk equalised in the 34th minute. Both managers were sent off. Kane scored in the 79th minute. But yeah, the talking point of this game, what this game will be remembered for, is all the poor refereeing decisions. And yeah, I think I agree with the vast majority that Brighton can feel very hard done by in this game, not to get something out of it. And yeah, we're really let down. But moving on then to Leicester 0, Bournemouth 1, a massive game down at the foot of the Premier League. Philip Billing with the only goal of the game in the 40th minute. And yeah, close game. But on the whole, I would say Bournemouth probably deserved the win. Absolutely. Really good performance by Bournemouth. And yeah, they're slowly creeping away out of trouble when everyone doubted them. But yeah, fair play to them. But Leicester, it just seems a mess. Can't get a manager. Why would you start Rodgers in that case? And yeah, it's a shock, but it's a real possibility they could go down now. Moving on into Fulham 0, West Ham 1 at Craven Cottage. And yeah, Harrison Reed with the only goal in the game in the 23rd minute, but it was an own goal, allowing West Ham to pick up the win. And yeah, it was a game that, on the whole, I would say West Ham probably did deserve to win. And a really good performance from them. To bounce back from the last game would be a huge boost to them. And for Fulham, yeah, it's disappointing because they've lost the last 5 now. Marco Silva, I don't know, kind of just stumbling to finishing line, which is a bit disappointing. But moving on then to Brentford 1, Newcastle 2 at the Brentford Community Stadium. Tony missed a penalty and had a goal disallowed in the 8th minute. So, you know, a bit of a dramatic first half for him before scoring the 41st minute. Yeah, still can't believe he missed a penalty, even if he did score one later on. But a rare own goal and an Isak goal in the 54th and 61st minute gave Newcastle win. Wilson had a goal disallowed through handball. But yeah, on the whole, a close game, but Newcastle doing what Sides do if they want to get in the Champions League, win games. Moving on into Villa, and they defeated Forest 2-0 at Villa Park. And Traore in the 48th minute and Ollie Watkins in the 95th minute with the goals for Villa. And yeah, on the whole, a victory that they thoroughly deserved. And you know, up to 6, what an incredible job Unai Emery has done now, and given them a really real good shot at getting into the European places. Not many would have thought that when he came in, so full credit to him. But yeah, Forest into the relegation zone now, and yeah, they look in real trouble. But moving on then to a team that's in even bigger trouble, and that is Southampton. And they were once again the victims of a defeat, this time to Manchester City. Haaland with a goal just before half-time. Grealish, Haaland, and Alvarez with the goals for City. Mara with a goal for Southampton. But yeah, Southampton, you know, in the first half they weren't bad, but in the second half kind of got just torn apart. And yeah, City deserved winners here. And yeah, they really look like they're finding their stride in a crucial part of the season. As for Southampton, I can't see anything other than relegation. Moving on into a shock at Ellen Road as Leeds were defeated 5-1 by Palace. Not very much shock, but you know, kind of the manner of it. Bamford gave Leeds the lead in the 21st minute before Gurhey equalised just before half time, and then goals in the second half through Ayew, Eze, Edouard, and Ayew. Elise with a hat-trick of receipts. Really impressive performance from him, and Roy Hodgson really delivering. But yeah, Leeds will be really disappointed with that. Just a second half collapse, and yeah, could impact their survival chances. Moving on into a game which could impact Arsenal's title chances, and that was a 2-2 draw at Anfield. They took lead through Martinelli and Jesus, making it 2-0. Salah pulled one back before half time, missed a penalty not long after it, before Firmino in the 87th minute made it 2-2. Ramsdale with an incredible save later on to keep it 2-2, and there's a weird moment between the assistant ref and Andy Robertson. Lots of drama, but Arsenal, really lucky not to lose this in the end. Disappointing performance. Moving on into the Championship game, and starting off with all the Good Friday games, and Millwall 0, Luton 0 in a crucial game for the race for the playoffs. It was a goalless draw in the end. But on the whole, I think Millwall probably were the better side, even and maybe just deserved to edge it. In the end, neither team could find a crucial breakthrough. For Millwall, it will probably be more frustrating. Luton much more secure in the playoffs, even without having much of a chance at automatics. Moving on into Rotherham, and they picked up a huge win over West Brom, 3-1 with the scoreline. John Swift gave them the lead in the 32nd minute from the penalty spot, before Hugill with a brace in the 42nd and 50th minute made it 2-1, and Tariq Fosu in the 76th minute for Rotherham gaining the win. And what a huge win this was for Rotherham. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. Big win, kind of giving them a bit of breathing space in the relegation battle, 3 ahead of Reading. West Brom, though, disappointing as the season continues. Blackburn 0, Norwich 1 was the score at Ewood Park. Blackburn 0, Norwich 2. Gibbs and Sarah with the goals for Norwich either side of half time. It was quite a tasty contested games, but Norwich got the win. And it's a big win for Norwich after a few disappointing results. It's really catapulted them back into playoff contention, so they'll be absolutely delighted with that. But for Blackburn, it seems like a late season collapse going on, and it's really throwing their playoff place into jeopardy. Moving on into Blackpool 1, Cardiff 3 at Bloomfield Road. Wickham, Carver and Rules with the goals for Cardiff in the first half, giving them a 3-0 lead, before Bowler in the 74th minute made it 1-3. The game, I don't know, maybe it's quite even. Cardiff just a lot more clinical and picking up a crucial win. On the whole, I would say they did deserve the win. But for Blackpool, they will be frustrated. Kind of ends a bit of hope they had of surviving, but for Cardiff, a huge win. Moving on then to QPR 0, Preston 2, and QPR and Gareth Ainsworth's struggle continues. The goals from Canyon in the 59th and 63rd minute, 2 quick goals, and QPR results elsewhere mean they're only 1 point above the dotted line now. Which is obviously a bit of a disaster for them. But for Preston, they keep marching on, and if they continue with this really rich vein of form, they will definitely have a chance of getting in those playoff spots. Moving on into another team in the relegation battle, and a team that's actually in the relegation zone now, and that's Reading, drawing 1-1 with Birmingham. Andy Carroll in the 7th minute gave them the lead before Lucas Juchewicz in the 29th minute equalised. And after that, there was a match between the two sides. You'd say a draw was a fair result here. For Reading, probably a frustrating one, again, that they would have targeted to win, really. Birmingham, their season's over. Not a terrible point on the road. I think both teams may be disappointed in the end not to win, especially Reading in their position. But moving on into Sheffield United, and they defeated Wigan 1-0 to take another step closer to the Premier League next season. Big win with Middlesbrough dropping points once again, and it looks almost a certainty now, and it was Ndiaye in the 8th minute who gave the Blaze the lead, and it's a game that they dominated and fully deserved to win. To be honest, probably should have won it by more with next year's 2.46%, you can't complain. Wigan with the deduction, it's a long way back. Moving on into Stoke, and they were actually defeated 2-1 at home to Bristol City. Really disappointing result this for Stoke. Nick Powell with a goal in the 36th minute gave them the lead, but 2 late goals from Viner and Maheti made it 2-1. And on the whole, maybe Bristol City deserves to just edge it. I would say probably a draw was a fair result, but there we go. Bristol City, big win for them. Stoke in their recent form, I think they will be disappointed, but at the end of the day, both these teams are mid-table. Moving on into Swansea, and they drew 0-0 at home to Coventry. It's kind of another one of those games where both teams are unlikely to really mount a playoff push. Coventry 3 points off, so maybe they'll be slightly more disappointed, but Swansea definitely with mid-table as you can get. Coventry still have an outside chance of playoffs. They'll be disappointed, maybe not to get the win in this one. In terms of the game itself, probably quite an even game, not much in it, and a draw, probably a fair result. Moving on into Watford 2, Huddersfield 3 at Vicarage Road. Asprilla gave Watford the lead in the 32nd minute before Rudini and Pearson made it 2-1 and Harrop made it 3-1 and Sombalonga made it 2-3 before Backman was sent on play on. But yeah, in the end Huddersfield held out, and yeah, what a huge win this was for Huddersfield. Neil Warnock has worked his magic, absolutely incredible job by him. Watford, they will be gutted. Chris Wilder here and not got off to a great start, but for Huddersfield, huge win for them. Moving on then to a crazy game, and Sunderland drew 4-4 with Hull, and it was Tufan in the 11th minute who gave Hull the lead before Gerhard and Diallo made it 2-1 with 2 goals in 2 minutes. Hull made it 2-2 not long after that before Stacey made it 3-2. Diallo and Clark made it 4-3, and in the 98th minute Tufan with a penalty made it 4-4, and absolutely a crazy game. Sunderland will be gutted they didn't win this, especially with a late penalty, but yeah, crazy game, and that's what we want from mid-table sides with nothing to play for. Moving on into Borough 1, Burnley 2 at the Riverside, and Burnley promoted to the Premier League. Ashley Barnes in the 12th minute gave them the lead before Akpom from the spot equalled things up for Barrow, but Connor Robertson in the 66th minute scored the goal that tipped Burnley up. And yeah, on the whole there wasn't much separated the two sides, but Burnley were clinical, got the job done, and they'll be playing in the Premier League next season. You can't say they deserve it. Unbelievable job from them, and yeah, fully deserving. What a job Vincent Company has done. But anyway guys, that's it for video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, scroll, and what's going on. If I share you the daily football news, subscribe to the channel, greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.